You're listening to Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio. Sponsored by Treebor Soft Mints. Absolute Radio.
Marvellous. That was Jelly Baby by... Is that Kyria or is it Kyria?
Kiri Takanawa, is that?
It's not her.
Okay.
No, and it's not Tanita Tikaram. I'm going for Kyria.
Okay.
Because Kyria sounds... Look, if she was on stage, and I don't know what she looks like, Kyria, but if she was on stage looking very attractive, some people might discuss whether they prefer North Korea to South Korea.
Yes, I'm sure that will happen.
If you receive my meaning. So, I'm in shock, I'll be completely honest with you.
Why is that?
Well, the Sun published the top comedy earners this week. In a week where, to one side of me, the country is having its worst financial cuts ever, to the other, Wayne Rooney's getting 250 grand a week. I find myself in a terrible, bleak no man's land in the top 40. In fact, I think
You're on it, Frank.
I wish now I'd got a jingle of the old Alan Freeman. Then I could read out number 39, Frank Skinner on 200,000. I must say my manager's in today, and he
looks livid.
He actually phoned and apologised, which I thought was a very sweet moment. 200,000, that's good, isn't it?
Also,
if you
Frank,
ignore the 50
there are some
tax
controversial people, I think, ahead of you. I'm not going to name names. I am going to name names,
name
actually.
some names.
Well, Jo Brand, comma 53. Oh, that's not what she earns. That's her age. But, oh no, she earns a little bit more than you. 50,000 more a year she earns, apparently.
Well, that's fair enough. I'm happy. I like it. It's like being a nurse. So that's what I feel
There
like.
is someone who earns less than you.
Yes, there is. That's true. And I'm so pleased that there's someone who earns less than me, that he's our guest next week. I've brought him. It's my only one-upmanship opportunity. I shouldn't. It's good money. I'm not complaining. There's people at home saying, I earn 10 quid a year. There's people. Actually, they won't have radios, those people.
Jimmy Carr's doing well, isn't he?
Oh, he's doing well.
He's keeping with him.
He keeps
5 million.
But, so there's all...
It stops at 40, doesn't it? It's not exhaustive of everyone who does comedy.
Can I just say...
I'm not anywhere near... I'm not on it.
They've essentially
No,
just...
I noticed you weren't on it.
Frank, they've essentially just printed my address book, if I'm honest, here.
Including the figures next to the names.
Yes, I thought it was a list of blackmail victims you'd come up with, and I'm only 39. I'm touched.
There's only one blackmail victim on there.
Anyway, what number is he at?
Maybe people would like to guess and they can text in.
No, I don't think we'll have that as a text in. But if you want to text us about anything, if it's only to say, shut your face about your money, £200,000 is great, you can do that on 8, 12, 15. But bear in mind the 50% tax, and then my manager's X15.
Yeah.
I end up with just about enough for a cardigan and some...
No wonder he's wearing
some
such a nice
crisps.
leather jacket this morning.
Oh, yes, he's living the life at Riley. And Tim Key's our guest today, who's a very fine comic who's been on before. I'm calling him a friend of the show. Friend of the show. Oh dear, that was like having a tooth extracted. That thing, I didn't feel it flowed at all. So yeah. Anyway, I'm not in it for the money. I'm in it for love. What about that?
That's good.
Yeah. I used to be in it for love. That's a fact.
Doesn't say how much love people get on this list.
No, there ought to be a love list.
Be a very different list.
Yeah, it should be a laugh list. That's what I want. They're not anyway. So I think we've started off on the wrong foot now. Do you know what I mean? As I think Paul McCartney said at his divorce proceedings.
Oh.
So I'm going to play something else, and perhaps we can pretend this bit never happened. What do you think?
Oh. No, I like this bit.
Okay, it's in.
You weren't in a year.
You make a note of that. It's in.
Saturday morning.
I haven't heard that for a bit. You know, they come and they go. The jingles, don't they?
Rob Brydon, 500,000.
Leave it now.
Okay, sorry.
Rob Brydon's getting £500,000.
That was just for one voiceover he got that.
Well,
We've had some texts in, Frank, and emails. We've had one in from Tom Bradley.
oh yeah.
I used to... Don't say it like you know him.
Well, you know, it's a name of the sort of person you would know. I feel most people, if they carefully trace through their life with a fine-tooth comb, like that one I had when I had the nits at school, they'd find a Tom Bradley somewhere.
Oh, yeah. I used to work in a hospital in Cornwall. That's not me. I hasten to add.
I know that.
In some of the old notes, there were the letters FNC written in the old paediatric medical assessments. Oh, the old paediatric medical assessments. This is normal in notes. For example, HPC stands for History of Present Complaint.
Oh.
When I asked what FNC meant, the reply came normal for Cornwall. Oh, I see, like a little clever acronym.
Normal
I like that.
for Cornwall.
Yeah.
It's a bit harsh on lovely Cornwall, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean,
that
it's not
involves.
always easy, you know, when you live in a small deserted village and don't have transport, to find someone who isn't a member of your family. I think people should be more...
We're NFA, normal for absolute. That's what we are.
Yeah? I don't know if we are.
I don't think we are.
How dare you?
I used to live in Cornwall. Cornwall has bad press.
Yes.
The
I think what you've
Penzance
just
Echo
done...
is rubbish.
What you've just done is people have thought, oh yeah, okay. Are you normal for Cornwall?
No, I didn't fit in there either.
Oh, okay. Oh, how sad. What else? What else?
David Bucknell.
Not quite so common, but acceptable. I'd
Yeah.
say David Bucknell is something you're on a train and you're saying, I was talking to David Bucknell in sales, and he was... we said we might go out for a couple of beers one night.
Yeah, he works. His email says Ranger System is in his email, so he works for something called Ranger System.
Right? He might be a part ranger.
Oh, yeah, like Yogi Bear. Oh, I like the sound
Yeah,
of
exactly.
him.
Yeah, he'd be on
might
the.
be nice for
he'll be
me.
on the picnic basket rounds. I wouldn't be surprised.
Love the podcast. My dog gets walked further on the strength of it, so thanks from Midge, my Cavalier King Charles Spaniel.
Oh, is he a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel?
Yeah,
Is he a
I
King
don't know.
Charles Spaniel who's got a bit of a
Yeah.
abandoned attitude?
I have a question for Emily.
Oh,
Oh,
Does AW...
I'm worried already.
are you on the top comedy earners list?
Does AW 2010 work? Surely the point of acronyms is to make them easier and quicker to say. AW has the same number of syllables as saying autumn-winter. Can you clarify, David?
Does
White?
it?
Well, he is, of course,
AW.
talking about the fashion acronym,
Yes.
Autumn-Winter 2010.
Yes.
You see, here's the thing, David. I like your point, and it's well made, but the fact is you're confusing convenience for style and affectation, which is what it is, essentially.
What it is, it's saying is I'm in with the fashion
Yeah.
world, so
Yes.
I can just use
Like
the initial.
RTW, ready to wear. It's not quicker, but it's a hell of a lot cooler.
No.
I might say a jean. I won't say a pair of jeans. I'll say that's a nice jean you're wearing. How much better does that sound?
Not well. 4%. NFC.
It's a bit like Stephen Fry.
See?
Stephen Fry always goes on about www. is a lot longer than World Wide Web. You know how
Is that
at the
what he
start of
always goes
email
on
is-
about?
Oh, don't
it's
listen
one
to
of the
him.
things he always
I was
goes on
watching
about.
the QI last night. It's a strange, but it reminds me of when we used to sit cross-legged at school and the teacher would read Stig of the Dump. He goes on for ages with them, just shots of them nodding while he tells them stuff.
It's like this show.
Well, I wouldn't go so far as to say that. Where is he on the list? Hold on.
Oh, he is on the list, Frank.
Stephen Fry, let me find... You just talk amongst yourselves. What else? Oh, yeah, number 16.
Yeah,
2
16.
million this year.
Yeah.
Well, he's got a big head. It costs that much in hats. No, I don't mean he's got a big head as in he's arrogant.
No.
He's got an enormous
Has he?
bone-covered big Mount Rushmore type head.
Oh, Frank.
Yes.
We had a text in from Barry Needle. I like the sound of him.
Barry Needle, I'm imagining he's wearing a rugby shirt as we speak.
Well, regional advertising, I think. Some sort
okay.
of car salesman.
Oh, steady.
Hi, Frank and gang. I live in, I can never say that. Is it Elat in southern Israel? And your AE Houseman alarm sounds the same as our rocket warning.
Oh,
He said they have
That's been mentioned.
off.
oh dear, there's men in metal hats running through the corridors of Absolute as we speak.
He said he had to run into the bomb-proof room and take his earphones out.
What he really did?
Yeah.
Wow.
I suppose
I
if
thought
that,
Hamas
if
was
that
up
sound...
again.
How loud does he have his radio
I
that
don't
people
know.
in Israel thought it was a rocket raid? That's good, though. It's good that we're affecting history in some way. Affecting history.
It's a sobering thought, isn't it? That some people live in places where that alarm means bombs are going off, and for us it's just poets.
Yes.
We
I
should be
think-
grateful.
I am grateful. Can I make that clear? And also I'm very grateful before anyone else thinks of it to be number 39 on the Comedy Earners list.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that aren't on the comedy earners list at all.
Nice to be mentioned.
Well, someone's
Yeah.
already said, "Good morning, Frank. That comedy list should be rated by love and affection. I'm sure a gig by you would sell much more tickets than one by Joe Brown." Oh, but we like Joe Brown.
Yeah, we do like
Isn't
just
that your
let's not
text
turn
number,
on Joe
Frank?
Brown.
That's
For
your
goodness
text
sake.
number.
Huh?
I think that's your text number.
Shut your face.
This is Frank Skinner on
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner.
Absolute Radio.
Roll Away Your Stone, Mumford Sons, and also I think the Weight Watchers anthem. Marquis Smith claims that as the recent Marquis Smith, the lead singer with The Fall, who we play every week on this show, like it or not, he claims that at a festival he heard what he called the Sons of Mumford rehearsing, and he I can't tell you what he called them, actually. I was trying to think if I can use the word, 'cause he's not exactly swearing,
Was
but
it
it's
a
a bit
mean
non-PC.
thing?
It was quite mean. He threw a bottle.
He can be
at
mean. Oh, that's
he said
mean.
he threw a bottle at their house where they were rehearsing.
Threw a bottle at their house.
Yeah, you know.
Was he like a 14-year-old delinquent?
But the fact that I'm playing them both on the same show, to me, means I've brought harmony to the situation in a small, tiny way. You can text us on 81215, by the way, 81215 about anything at all. Speaking of harmony, I was being driven in this morning by a very nice
You better
bloke.
stop that after you're placing on
Well,
the comedy
exactly, yeah,
owners.
exactly, yeah.
It's all coming to a halt.
When I say I was driven in, I mean I met with the bullwhip.
Yeah.
And it's a very nice driver, man. We were having a lovely chat, and he just slightly nearly missed a turning, and this van pulled inside us. This guy got out. Absolutely. I mean, it was 5 to 7. Who gets that angry at 5 to 7? He was really... I thought, if I had a firearm now, I can't honestly put my hand on my heart and say I wouldn't take this bloke's head off. Because you felt there are some acts of violence which improve the planet in a way. But and afterwards, the conversation dropped. I could tell the driver was a bit
Switchboard's
shaken.
lighting up now.
Yeah, he was shaken by the whole... That'll be him. Shaken by the whole experience. No, I imagine he probably listens to Capital.
Oh,
He had that look about him. But how horrible that we should do that to each other. Why can't we just have more love in the world? Eh?
Well, I'm all for that.
That's
as
this
you know.
week's phone-in. Why can't we have more love in the world? Within... you can only use 21 characters. Is that what it is on Twitter, 21?
No, it's 40.
I don't do...
140.
You don't do Twitter, I
Oh,
know.
Twitter schmitter. That's what I say. Speaking of human communication, our Keith called me the other day.
Oh, does that count?
How dare you?
No, I love our Keith. He's one of my favourite of all the Birmingham Mellies.
Yeah, and he called up. We was having a chat about stuff, and mainly about the racing club that they've got at their local pub. But I'm not going to talk about that today. He started reminiscing about our childhood, and he said, "Do you remember when we used to sit in?"
Is that one of your family members, our childhood?
No,
Oh,
that's
okay.
not. No, our Keith is, but
Oh,
our
okay.
childhood is something it's a period we shared.
Okay.
And he was saying, do you remember when we used to sit on the gutter and write down car numbers when cars went past? And I said, hey, I do, yeah. Why did we do that? Because it makes no sense. We used to sit there, and when a car went past, we'd write down the registration number in a notebook, which we reserved especially for that.
You sat in the gutter.
Yeah, we sat in the gutter, and I said, why did we do that? And he said, I think it's because there weren't many cars about. So we would just keep... We were sort of an early form of CCTV. You know, Keith.
Who is that quote from? Is it Oscar Wilde? He says, we're all in the gutter, but some of us are looking at the cars.
Yeah, I think exactly. So it got me thinking about, my childhood in general, and also sort of rubbish hobbies. That,
You played brick and stick, or you played in the gutter. It's like Angela's Ashes, your childhood.
most of my life
They
was
wish
spent
they had Angela's Ashes.
in all around the gutter. Yeah, I remember I used to keep scrapbooks as one of my things. I used to Elvis scrapbooks and West Bromwich Albion scrapbooks, and I was thinking about this, and because I was thinking about all the stuff I did in my childhood after this conversation, and then I remembered we didn't buy glue. What we used to do, we used to mix flour and water together and stick stuff in with that.
Oh, 1918 or something. I used to have scrapbooks, Frank.
Did
I
you?
had the Queen. I'm not joking. I used to collect pictures and portraits of the Queen. Honestly, when I say
You've got to have
portraits,
something.
not big National Portrait Gallery portraits.
No, that wouldn't
Oh, I
surprise me.
loved it. I'd cut them out.
Really?
Why did
The
I
Queen?
do that? Yeah.
What happened to those scrapbooks?
Oh, my mum's still got them somewhere. They're not worth anything. Don't look all excited.
No, that's a bit worrying, the Queen. Who did you put in your scrapbook, Gareth?
I remember watching Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Do you remember that film where it's all about his father leaves
That was
him-
in your childhood?
Well, yeah.
I know.
God, that was, well, deep into my adulthood.
His father leaves him a notebook that tells you the way to get the Holy Grail, and I thought that was really cool, that notebook. So I bought myself some notebooks to make a cool notebook, but I didn't have anything to write in the notebook. So it was just an empty notebook and didn't really have the same effect as a cool kind of dog-eared notebook
Yeah.
that you have passed down from your father.
Well, you should have made one out of flour and water. That's my
Sort of a notebook
Anyway,
cake.
if you had any rubbish hobbies or collected anything rubbish, then do give us a text on 81215.
This is Frank Skinner on
Absolute Radio.
And have we had any texts yet?
Well, we have. Glenn in Lincoln says, we're talking about collecting things. Glenn in Lincoln says, I used to collect clothing tags. I have no idea why.
What a fabulous collection that would have been. Some of them are quite big. I mean, I don't know. Now you get the washing instructions and stuff. I suppose you could have. They'd be in a sort of an addendum.
Well, exactly. And we've got Ash of Twickenham. I like this. We used to get rotten fruit from the greengrocers. This is 1975-ish.
Yeah.
Says, then stand on the curb and throw it into the road as cars drove past. The winner was the one who got the most squashed under tyres.
We used to do a thing where you stand on one side of the road with a football and you have to throw it in such a way that it hits the following curb and bounce the opposite curb and bounces
yeah.
straight back to you. Not easy. Sounds easy.
No, it's
But
not
no.
easy,
Frank,
that.
can I just say we've had quite a number of people texting in saying they used to also collect car registration numbers.
Oh, really?
They sat on the pavement edge, bit more middle class.
Well, I sat on the pavement edge, I
Oh, okay.
suppose. My feet were in the gutter, but I was
Oh, okay.
looking
I
at...
had
was thinking of
visions
something that rhymed, but I couldn't say it. Yes. Yeah, well, I don't know why we collected them, though. What's the
Yeah.
point?
I guess
suppose-
it's good if you're ever called to like testify in a case or something.
Well, that's why I'd be frightened to collect them now. You'd imagine someone would leap out and you'd get shot because there'd be some serious... That's what I imagine. And any other...
Yeah, this is good. Me and my friends used to collect bus tickets.
I'm liking it.
Yeah.
Was that a bus? That's not a bus conductor, is it?
They were all different
Inspector.
colours. I remember when they were different colours. And they were on a roll in sequence. So we used to see who could find the longest ticket from a long journey. It was the late 70s when state-of-the-art technology was a rediffusion TV game.
You
Michelle,
quite
that is.
I remember we used to smoke tea in a pipe. Tea
What?
leaves. We used to put tea leaves in a pipe and smoke that in our dens that we built on waste ground. A friend of mine also had a pigeon that he was trying to... he captured. We had it in a cage. He was trying to teach it to speak. It was futile. Utterly futile. So we went... we had a date this week, me and
Oh,
me
Frank and I have
Emily
been
Dean.
seeing quite a lot of each other this week. Yeah.
We went to see Stephen Sondheim. Do you know him, Gareth?
Yes, a lyricist, writes musicals
Lyricist.
and stuff.
Yeah. He wrote, "Some people can get a thrill knitting sweaters and sitting still." You know it.
West Side Story.
Well, it's
Did he
not
do that
from.
one?
He did do West Side Story.
Yeah. And
he
send
did
in the clowns.
Send in the clowns.
Yeah.
Yes. Send
Yeah.
in the clowns.
Send
Send in 40 of the clowns.
Clowns.
In order of wage. I think he wrote that. Yeah, so we went to see him interview. It was very exciting, I thought.
Oh, we loved it. We didn't sit together, though, Gareth.
What?
Well, we did. We just chose not... Well, we didn't choose not to.
You
Frank
separated. You
Frank
weren't
got
causing
his
trouble.
ticket first, and it was a bit posher than mine. I was up in the gods.
Yes.
But we sat separately, and I rather liked it, Frank.
Yeah, what I liked it, there was no pressure to speak to the person next to you.
Oh.
You know. And
Would have
also...
been disruptive.
No, but you know, sometimes you're at something and you sense the person next to you's not enjoying it, spoils it for you. So I'm thinking, as a general rule,
Yeah.
maybe sitting separate from the person you go to an event with could be a good thing.
I found it was like the night before a wedding, though. It was very exciting because I wanted to know what you thought of it. I loved
Yes,
it.
exactly. And we were so excited. We both bought books after his book.
Yeah.
30 quid.
Wow.
Frank, there was a massive queue, wasn't there? I tried to make him use the cloak of celebrity to queue jump, and he wouldn't do it. He went all man of
No,
people.
I didn't want to do. Do you know who I am?
Yeah.
But when we bought the books, now what do you think about this, Gareth? When we bought the book, it said signed by the author, signed copy. And we thought, oh, lovely, Stephen Sondheim. And get it while you can. And we got the books, and they weren't. What there was a sticker inside signed by Stephen Sondheim.
It was a post-it note, Frank, let's be honest.
Yes. Now,
A
does
post-it note?
Yeah.
Well,
And
it was, Frank, it was
had
a
he
post-it
signed
note.
the sticker?
Yeah, he
signed the
signed
So
sticker.
he had signed a sheet of stickers.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
what
He
had
just stuck
happened.
them in.
Yes.
Wow.
Now that to me is not a signed book.
No, it's a signed sticker.
I mean, take for example, if for mischief, I'd managed to obtain that sheet of stickers and put one of them, say, on a tawny owl, just on the back, not keeping the wings pinned, just on the back, down the centre of the back, so it could still fly.
Yeah.
Would I be able to say I've got this tawny owl signed by Stephen Sondheim? I don't think I would. Yeah, signed by the. Could I advertise it on eBay? Tawny owl signed by the author. Well, obviously not by the author because he didn't write. I don't think he wrote. Any
And also, we were
songs
sort of
called-
buying it a bit as an investment, and it's not really. That's never gonna end up at Christie's, is it? Lot 24, a post-it note signed by Stephen Sondheim.
No, so we were duped by Stephen Sondheim. I think that's
Yeah.
the story of the week.
Oh, exactly.
This is Frank Skinner
Absolute.
Radio.
That was Gary Newman with Cars. I'm playing that for our Keith. And of course, he used to write down car numbers with me, and what led us onto the subject of rubbish hobbies and collecting things.
Which, can I say, our listeners, or my clients as I call them, they
I wish you
loved
wouldn't
it.
call them that.
I know you do, but I'm afraid you're just going to have to live with it. Now, we've had some great texts in, Frank. My dad used to collect the sticky labels off the fruit and on his factory, and he lined them up on
they're
his
good.
factory wall.
Oh, but that's what a marvellous image of the past.
Yeah,
that
that's
is.
Tina from Carshalton.
Linked to that, I used to collect bread bag clips to put on the cables on my bike.
So then was the days when the bread back clips. Then now they're just that yellow sticky stuff. I find.
they were all
But
little hard
they had the
plastic
solid one with the
discs,
double
yeah.
wire, wire trim.
That's from Bodger in Rudgley. He used to put
Bodger?
a lolly stick in the spokes as well to
Oh,
make
yeah.
an engine noise.
I remember that. Get the rattling. Not that I could ride a bike. Still can't ride a bike.
No, but someone's actually offered you swimming lessons here, more of which later.
Really?
Ryan in Brentwood. I used to collect car tax
I'm liking the
discs.
alliteration of Brian in Brentwood.
Well, that would be great if his name was Brian, but it's actually Ryan. But no matter. Ryan in Brentwood.
Assonance.
Yes, it's assonance. How dare you? I used to collect car tax discs when I was a kid. I had hundreds, but threw them away in my teens.
You see? The things we throw away and look back and think, I bet he thinks I wish I'd kept them. Now that the Pringle has been invented, that would have been a nice container for those discs. You could probably get 2,000.
Possibly my favourite, but this is anonymous, sadly. I used to collect moths in my dad's old tobacco tin. I would collect them
Dead
every
or alive, do you think?
Yeah, he says I would collect them every morning from our bathroom. We used to leave the light on at night as I was a crybaby. I had loads and I went to show my friends, but the tin was full of dust. I then moved on to slugs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, they seem to be constituted almost totally of dust. Moths.
Yeah, yeah.
If you start knocking a moth about, if you get rough with it, next thing you know, the old ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Never truer than with a moth.
They go down like tinder.
It's all like they're just made of dust.
Yeah.
True.
It's in this particular instance, God, if I may call him that on this show, thought, well, I won't reconstitute this into organs and stuff. I'll just mould the dust into a shape, flying shape. Hope that no one gets rough with it.
People used to say if you touched a butterfly, you would knock the dust off its wings and it wouldn't be able to fly anymore.
That's true, isn't it? I still believe that. Is that not true?
Well, once I used to throw dust. If that happened,
you say
I'd throw
whence?
dust. Whence?
It's all gone a bit. It's all gone a bit Tudor.
Geoffrey Chaucer's walked into the studio.
I smell it.
Frank and Co. My childhood hobby. Me and my cousin. Sorry about the grammar. Used to make lots of dens, then run off. We called it "Let's make a den and run away."
Oh, I like that.
Dave.
Strange
Was it
but true.
hyphenated?
It's Floyd in Cheshire.
I like Floyd in Cheshire, I think, is an album, isn't it? I bought it. No, I like. Well, see, we used to build dens. That was what the summer holidays consisted. But we'd sit in them for hours.
Yeah.
It was like first example of having my own property was sitting in a den. You have a bit of away from the adults. You could talk about rude stuff. Not build them and run off. I don't
Did
get
you
it.
build? We built them in our bedroom, our dens. You're looking at me like I'm mad. Are you meant to build them outside?
That's the general idea.
Oh, we weren't
really,
really
if
allowed.
you build them, that's not so much.
We weren't really allowed.
It's not a den. That's an internal lean-to you've got there. I'm not classing that.
Frank,
By the-
someone's texting. I have to sing "Send in the Clowns" in a competition today. Oh, good luck with that.
It's not Katie Weasel, is it?
Someone on the X Factor.
Oh, yeah. What if it was? Katie Weasel, tight with her chin. Apparently, that's how she texts. Yeah, one hand in the pocket, and then she chins the. Honestly,
It's not Weasel anyway. It's Katie Wassell.
This is what I read in the Daily Herald this week. So, what was I? Oh, yeah. I tell you what, I could do with a bit of help from our listeners because I'm going to a Halloween party next week.
Yeah, I'm going to that party as well.
Send in the cloud. How lovely to that in a competition, eh? Isn't it? Pair, head, feet, hair, clowns. I'll let you fill in the gaps. Yeah, so I'm going to a Halloween party, but I'm going with my girlfriend and her sister. And we were trying to think of a theme, a Halloween-y horror theme that the three of us would be all together.
I've got my costume all sorted. Mine's great. I'm not revealing what it is yet, but I hope it's as good as mine.
Well, if it was three women, I'd be happy to go as a female. I mean, I was thinking the possibility of the witches from the Scottish play.
Oh,
Yeah. And we've had bad instances with the cauldron of late. I don't know if... I don't want to push anything. But yeah, so that if anyone's got any ideas or a kind of a triple
A
costume,
triumvirate.
triple or treble, whichever you prefer.
Or the three bears, you could be the three bears.
That's a good Halloween theme.
Oh, yeah, you're going to have a great
Maybe the
night
three
dressed
bears,
as a bear.
Three bears on fire. That would be Halloweenish.
You don't want to go as anything like that, Frank, because then you're standing around trying to have a drink and a cigarette dressed as an orange or something. I can't bear
nothing on
that.
fire.
Yeah, well, I don't smoke, so it'd be fine. I don't drink. I could go as a...
Oh, I can't wait to go out with you.
Pupae would be all right, as long as no one got the dust off my wings. Tim Key's our I can't speak.
Our gay.
Tim Key is our guest today. I'm worried about this now, because if you're on the radio and you can't speak,
it's quite a problem.
you're in big trouble.
I'd make it work, though.
Sorry.
Has something just come through? Go on, what was it? You've got to tell us now.
Richie from Rochester.
That's the alliteration.
Yeah. Hi, Frank. I used to collect the stickers that would be on the CD albums, the kind that would proclaim including the hit singles. I would stick them to my bedside lamp, which gradually became an impressive sight to behold, until the resulting fire.
You could make a lampshade out of those if you got the frame. Yeah. Anyway, we must move on. But if you want to text us again, 8 12 15, you're doing great this morning. You're carrying the whole show, you people.
Frank on radio. Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Absolute Radio.
Welcome back. I don't know why I said I've never said that before after the news.
What was that?
It's all
Alan
right.
Partridge.
I think it's all right, isn't it? Welcome back. Nothing wrong with that. So, I was saying I went to see Stephen Sondheim. At the end, he got a standing ovation. Genuine standing ovation. I don't know about you in the cheap seats, but I was a little bit teary.
Yeah.
And then the next day, I went to see a film called Africa United.
Okay.
And it's the first time... it was like a premiere thing, but it's the first time I've ever seen a film get a standing ovation.
Oh.
Really?
You ever seen that before? Very odd.
No.
And I stood up, and I applauded. And then I thought, we're nearing the amount of time I stood for the Stephen Sondheim standing ovation. And I thought, well, I didn't enjoy it as much as the Stephen Sondheim, so I'm going to have to sit down soon. Because I honestly did. I thought, I can't, I have to do a little bit shorter for this. So I did that. And I got a couple of people looked at me a bit disgruntled, like, you know, the standing ovation has to be a group decision, not one bloke thinking, that's how much I enjoyed it, and I'm down.
Because you were worried someone might come up and say, "Oh, I'm really glad you like the film more than you like Stephen Sondheim."
Yeah, see.
Because you
that would have been, if there'd have been someone with a stopwatch, like a sort of a
Frank,
stopwatch stalker.
I think you've got the sort of confidence to be the architect of the ovation. I couldn't do that. For example, the other night at Stephen Sondheim, I didn't stand up because no one in my area was standing. Because we were in the gods and the
peer
roof was a bit
pressure.
low. Yeah, I couldn't, like...
Excellent. Excellent.
I've only just got that, I like it.
But no, I think you should be prepared to lead if you have to. Although a one-man standing ovation can be embarrassing.
Can be lonely.
I know, I remember when our Keith come to see me in Birmingham. It happened there. But I've never been sure about the standing ovation. I think if you actually feel it's sometimes I find myself amidst the standing ovation just because I can't see. I've risen up to look. I'll tell you what I've never done. This text, I've never shouted bravo.
Oh, my parents always used to shout that
Did
when
they?
I was a kid. My father, bravo, more.
Yeah, that takes genuine courage, I think, to shout bravo. Anyway, we've had some great suggestions about my Halloween.
We've had Nick from Cheshunt says go as Ghostbusters.
That's
3 people.
That's a very good idea.
What you're thinking is that's a very cheap idea. 3 boiler suits. Come on.
No
please.
boiler suit. We can modify some knapsacks. Buy 3 cheap knapsacks. Spray them over. Get like some
Spray 'em
Hoover.
over?
Yeah. Some
what, in
Hoover.
the gutter?
3 Hoover attachments. I'm feeling a bit coldy, so I'll probably be generating my own ectoplasm by that point in the week. It's all there.
It could be Slimer.
Rebecca in Catford says Harry Potter with Ron and Hermione. That's quite good.
That's good.
Yeah, but then the girls are going to fight over Hermione. Who's going to be Ron Weasley? That's nice for a girl, isn't it?
Yeah, they'll be desperate. Well, Kath wears glasses. She could be Harry Potter. Well, I'm thinking, thanks for this. I mean, this is genuinely good advice. This has become more of a sort of a call centre phone-in helpline. You can text us on 81215. Our guest is Tim Key. He'll be along shortly. And if he's listening, I don't mean that in any kind of disparaging way when I said he'll be along shortly.
It's quite tall.
Yeah.
It's not short.
I can't remember.
Frank, go as Bananarama. That's a weird
I saw him recently, but he was sitting for the entire evening. We could go as Bananarama.
Sean has suggested go as Bananarama. They were quite scary.
The replacement.
Especially at the end.
Yeah, that replacement one that looked like, as I've said before, Laurence Olivier and Richard III. I could go Laurence Olivier, Richard III, and maybe the 2 girls could just nestle in my hump.
Well, there you go.
Nestle in my hump. Isn't that outdoors? Nestle in my hump. Lean against my stump.
You're listening to Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio, the softest, mintiest show in town. Sponsored by Tree Bar Soft Mints.
Absolute Radio.
Tim Key's in the studio.
Hello, Frank.
Good morning. Don't you dare ask me how I am.
Oh,
We've
sorry.
established we weren't going to do all that.
Right, okay. You seem fine.
Yes. Yeah, wait till I show the test results I had this week. You might take that back. So, Tim, it's lovely to have you on, as always.
I'm fine.
No, we cut that
Right,
question.
okay, yeah.
Okay. And I should start off immediately by saying I spent a large part of yesterday afternoon listening to Tim Key with a string quartet on a boat.
Did you? How was your afternoon?
It was...
Bearing in mind you were listening to that.
I laughed like a drain.
Right.
Was it a drain? It was more of an industrial sump.
An industrial...
Sump.
Oh.
Look it up.
Okay.
Google it.
Well,
No,
is that a good... Is that... Did you enjoy it?
It was, yeah, it was
It was
I
fine.
loved it.
It was okay.
No, it was better than that. It was
Okay.
very, very funny.
Oh, good. I'm glad you liked it.
And I even liked the music.
Yeah, it's not for everyone, is it, that sort of stuff?
Well, the classicals, you never know. Sometimes you're in the mood, sometimes you're not. I mean, it's best combined
I like
with
it.
the
I like
visuals
classical
of an
music.
advert.
Yes. Yeah. It does work better when they're sort of flogging mortgage underneath it.
I agree. For those of you who haven't heard, it's a comedy CD.
It's actually vinyl.
Oh, it's vinyl.
At
That's
its
right. Of
best.
course, it's vinyl. I must admit, I listened to it on the internet.
Okay, yeah. They've made 1,000 records of it in vinyl.
LP sized.
Yeah, there or thereabouts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You haven't come up with something in between. That could cause havoc on a hi-fi system.
Yeah, something in between, and they're quite thick.
31 revs per minute.
Yeah. No, it's like it's a big album.
Yeah.
Yeah, not big as in, like, popular, but
Well,
size-wise...
we'll see.
Well,
Frank
yeah,
remembers
see.
vinyl.
Do you?
It was
Oh,
his...
God, yeah, I remember.
It's his idea.
I didn't like that wax. I found it wasn't durable enough. I like the cylindrical element.
Oh,
but
gorgeous.
Yeah. So, well, you should explain what it is, then.
Oh, so what it is, my friend and I decided that it would be a good idea to make a record. Well, it's his idea, really. He thought it would be quite cool. He's quite cool, sort of hunched and smokes rollies and things, and he knows people who do music. So he decided, with his musical friends, that it would be quite good to use...
Hunched, is that an element of cool nowadays?
It's quite Shoreditch, that, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
The hunch
Yeah,
thing.
Shoreditch hunch.
You don't
Yeah.
puff your chest up.
Exactly.
No.
You sort of sloped is probably better.
Look at the
kinda.
ground.
Look at the ground intently.
Maybe with a hat and some glasses, Tim. What do you think? What do you say?
This guy doesn't do it, but
Okay.
I don't think he needs to because his hunch is sufficient.
I've got a
Pretty
natural
fiddle.
hunch. I might just at this late stage of my life have come into cool.
No.
Okay.
Bob Dylan pioneered the hunch, I think. He was quite hunched. I
Well-
think he was the first hunch.
Do you know that for a fact, or is it
Yeah, he was
just a
hunched.
hunch? Okay, so yeah, so
So yeah, I think his idea was to combine music and comedy with his music friends and try and create something quite cool somewhere in the middle of it. And I was the pawn in this experiment.
yeah, it was porn as well.
There's some porn. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a big picture of me with nothing on the front.
Okay,
No, there isn't.
okay.
No. So yeah, he
You should
decided
have
that.
saved that for the label.
Yeah.
Then you could have.
Go on.
Yeah. No. So you're on a boat.
Yeah, so we went to a boat where there was a recording studio, and we hired a string quartet because it was decided that would be quite classy. And then I just read poems with a string quartet playing classical music underneath them, and occasionally I interacted with this string quartet. And after a while, a guy called Tom Basden came in as well with his guitar, and it was sort of, yeah.
And you verbally assaulted him.
I verbally assaulted him for a spell, and then he left, and then we finished. We
Yeah.
made it into an album.
And they're an all-female string.
No, there's one guy actually who played the viola.
Because a lot of you spend a lot of time talking about how attractive they are. and-
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they were.
I mean, in a non-Bernard Manning kind of a way.
Oh no, I did it very tastefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite gentlemanly.
Something about the cello I thought got a bit
Yeah,
near the knuckle.
yeah, it was quite. Yeah,
Yeah, but it
a bit
is
more sordid.
It's a very funny album, and Tim, as I'm sure you all know, is a poet. So you get the funny poets, and then you get the banter.
Yeah, it's poetry and banter. Yeah,
and
Yeah,
music.
and music. Yeah, which is kind of the three best things available at the moment.
So the vinyl, can people still? Do they have the equipment?
No,
That's what I'm asking.
the format that we've created it on is obsolete, so no one will listen to it.
Okay.
So, but it looks nice, like it's kind of properly, the album art is all good, and
Yeah.
so it feels like a nice thing. Like
Will you
when
get more room on one of those than a CD?
Yeah, and there's quite a lot of pressure I found, like to make it look good. So otherwise, it's sort of a waste of time. Like you're constantly trying to justify the fact that you're making an album on vinyl, because no one's going to be able to listen to it. So everything else about it has to be really good. So it looks beautiful. It's like really nicely designed. And
Well, we used to put album sleeves on the wall when I
Yeah.
was a young man.
well, you can put this one up if you
Used to
want.
pin them up, and the nice thing about, and I reckon this is why albums are circular,
Yeah.
so that you can put the drawing pins in, you don't damage the record inside. I think that's why they left the corners off them. I mean, I don't know.
I haven't got a better suggestion.
Well,
I suppose it's so they go round as well.
I think you'll find a square or go around. See that toast there? You just try skimming that across the room, see what happens.
We only have this extra. This is Frank Skinner
Absolute.
Radio.
Times like these, Kung Fu Fight, not Kung Fu Fighters. Foo Fighters. Everybody was Kung Fu Fighters. Yes, Foo Fighters. Oh my God, that's the most granddad thing I've ever done in my. We're just talking about Tim's movie. You're in a movie, Tim.
Yeah, I'm in a movie. I play Customer.
Customer.
Yeah.
Is it the Battle of the Little Big Horn?
No,
Oh, okay.
no, I have 2 lines. In fact, I have a line where I say, "What does this?" or something like that, and then she cuts me off.
Okay.
And then she talks for ages, this actress, and then at the end I go, right, thanks, or something like that, and then that's me done.
Okay.
Yeah, so I wouldn't say I'm sort of top billing in
No.
that movie. Still foot in the
No,
door,
but
isn't it?
you know, yeah, exactly.
And I'm in another one that's actually coming up, which is directed by someone famous, but I can't remember who it is, and Matt Damon's in it. And in that one, I play Coughing Man.
Was that a wrestler?
Yeah. No.
Sounds like it could be. doesn't
I'm a guy in a chemist who just goes, I really need some vaccine. And
Oh, you get a line though.
something like that, yeah. And because of the plot of the film, there's no vaccine, unfortunately. So I just got to kind
I
of
was
go.
going to say, I didn't normally ask for a
they
vaccine.
don't.
No, it's very rare.
Ask for
Vaccines
cough
at the
drop.
chemist.
No. Although I just went past Boots and there's a sign outside saying you can come and get a flu vaccine.
wow.
Yeah, book in now.
I had my
See, you're
flu
just
jab
getting into
last
character, doing some research like Mike Lee.
Yeah. My research is walking past Boots.
Sorry, Gareth, you were.
I said I had my flu jab last week.
How was it?
It's had quite a detrimental effect on you.
So you've got a flu.
Sluggish,
bad.
strangely sluggish. So you're running in the Great North Run
I've run
tomorrow.
it. I've done it.
Oh, was it? Oh,
Yeah, you don't keep doing it. You
I
just
thought it was
do it when
every- I thought it was every
you do it when
week.
it's on. Yeah. So it was about 3 weeks ago.
Oh,
I ran it.
Sorry, my research is a little out of date. Well, that's
all right.
So you made it then.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
good because now we can talk about it retrospectively rather
Yeah,
than
okay.
just imagining.
Yeah, we'll talk about it as if it's happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did it.
Can I say, and I don't mean this in a
Oh,
derogatory
no. It's
way.
surprising that you did it.
It is. You don't look like a runner because runners are often quite scrawny.
Less fat.
Well, they're scrawny.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not scrawny.
No,
No.
but
If that's... are you trying to pay me a compliment?
Tim's very well
No.
built.
yeah.
Maybe too well built.
No.
Can you be too well built?
No, I'm about right, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, no, my body's...
Consider ye the moth made merely of dust.
Oh.
That's why they don't do the Great
Reference to
North Run.
something that's already happened.
How long is the
Oh.
Great North Run?
Is it in North London?
It's half a marathon, Frank, and it's in...
Is it North London?
No, Newcastle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I would have done that otherwise.
Yes.
No, you have
it's-
to drive up to Newcastle, and,
Okay.
and you have to stay in Middlesbrough. So there are sort of drawbacks, but it's good fun.
Yeah. And are you a regular? Well, you must be a regular runner. You just
Yeah, I
didn't do
try
it
and
as a
run
one-off.
I sort of tend to do about 2 10k runs a week, something like that.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
See, I'm liking the combination of poet and athlete.
Yeah.
It's a bit like, was it Mishima, the Japanese poet who used to Pompeian?
I imagine probably that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He also launched a military coup, actually, and had
Yeah.
to commit suicide.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's not part
I'm
of
not
my
saying-
big game plan, but
No. But don't write it off.
I'm not writing anything off.
It could be a coda.
No, if I get pretty good at running, I suppose I probably will do a military coup at some stage. Well, how do you do that?
Well, I don't think
You
he
might have to
involved.
sort of help a little bit.
Remember, he was a weight trainer, so he could. It was more impressive.
Oh, so yeah,
military
you need
coup.
sort of quite big arms to do a military coup.
Yeah, I did, because you have to hold up basically the whole military.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll look into that.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is Frank Skinner on
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner.
Absolute Radio.
Tim Key is our guest this morning. Tim, you're going to tour again soon.
Yeah, not again. It's the first time I've done it, actually.
Well, I see you on tour recently.
What, in Soho?
Yeah.
No, I just did... I did my show in Edinburgh last year and then brought it to London. Just did London.
Oh, okay.
And did it a lot in London.
So it doesn't class as a tour.
No, not
But
really.
My God, it
This
was
is
funny.
like... Oh, you enjoyed it?
It was properly funny.
Good.
There was a point where I was virtually physically supporting you.
Yeah, there was. I
Wasn't it?
climbed over you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was quite a surreal moment for me as well.
Yeah, I remember. You looked down. Our eyes met. I didn't
Yeah.
want to put you off.
Yeah.
and I was.
It didn't put
You
me off,
probably
but-
could see the sinews in my neck. I was taking,
Yeah, I was mainly just thinking, well, there's Skinner.
yeah,
So-
holding me up.
'Cause I didn't know you really.
No,
So it was quite a surreal moment. Yeah, you were
there's a
holding
lot of water gone under the bridge since then.
Oh, of course, we're a bit closer now. I would say.
We've
Understatement of the year.
shared a snog.
We have shared a snug.
We've never shared a slug. Can I make that clear?
We'll put that right.
What
Steve.
was that French restaurant we went to? I think
I
we
don't
shared.
know what it was called, but
Did we share a slug as well?
yeah, it's delicious. Too garlicky, if anything.
I'll tell you what I'm a little confused by, Tim, is that you were in Cambridge Footlights,
Yeah.
but you weren't a student at Cambridge.
No, I wasn't. I had to, I suppose, lie to get into it. I was living in Cambridge at the time, and then I was at a loose end, so I auditioned for Footlights.
But don't they say what course you're on or anything like that?
Yeah. I was studying a PhD in Russian, looking at the works of Nikolai Gogol at Sydney Sussex College. That was my lie.
That'll dissuade people from asking you any more.
Yeah. You shut it down.
And is there a Sydney Sussex?
There is a Sydney Sussex. Yeah.
In for a penny, in for a pound.
Yeah, it was well
makeup.
researched.
Yeah. If you had just made up a college and they didn't go. That would have been... Well, that shows great initiative, then. And did you actually get to perform with them and all that?
Yeah, that's how I kind of got into comedy. I got into a show.
By lying?
Yeah, I lied. I lied for 4 months. I don't lie now. I'm sort of straight now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for about 4 months I lied and got into... That's how I got to
4
Edinburgh.
months.
Did a show in
lived a
Edinburgh.
lie. Didn't they ask you about Nikolai Gogol in
One
the
guy
tea
did.
breaks?
One guy asked me, and I sort of just sort of dropped my shoulder and went to the bar.
Yeah.
He asked me about. He said, "I'm doing a play at the moment called The Government Inspector by Gogol." Now, what I wanted to know is when. And by that point I went, "Oh no, I'm sort of more." No. Don't think so.
Well, you
Not the
could
place.
have said, "Oh, not on my day off, mate." I mean, I got Gogol up to here.
I'm not a machine.
Got Gogol eyes.
So, and the run, by the way, we should say that you didn't do the North Run just for the hell of it. You
No.
did raise money. We should give you full respect.
Yeah, I tried to raise money. I mean, it didn't go that well, but I ran it for Shelter, the homeless charity.
Okay.
And in order to do the run, you have to pledge a certain
I
amount of
didn't
money.
think that you'd ran it for Shelter, as in,
Oh yeah.
you get a veranda.
Oh, yeah. I knew there
if you
was
win it.
I knew there was a hut 16 miles away. Yeah. So no, I ran it for them, and I had to raise £1,600, but I didn't actually do that. So now they're a little bit they're on my back asking me.
Oh, that's not how I expected the story to end.
No.
So did they actually set you a figure then?
Yeah, they set me a figure of £1,600.
Oh, I thought-
and there was quite a lot of bravado from me saying, "What do you mean £1,600? That's easy."
Right.
What did you
I
raise?
tweet. I raised less than that by about £700.
Oh.
So I raised quite a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then it sort of just slowed down to a stop, and now there's this impasse where Shelter just sort of occasionally peek over at me and say, "What about that
Do you think they're
£1,600
expecting
you
you
were talking about?"
to make up the...
Yeah,
difference?
I think that's implied that they need their £1,600 one way or the other.
Well,
might
don't
take-
look at me. I'm only 39th on the comedy earners.
Yeah, who's above you?
Well, if I was you, I would
Stephen
start
Fry,
with
Jimmy
Sacha Baron Cohen.
And work
who
my
earned
way
eight-
down.
He earned £8 million this year, so
Does
that,
he?
he's
So he
probably
could-
got that kind of money in his gardening trousers.
Well, yeah. If I were to give Shelter 8 million, I mean, I know Sasha's probably not going to give me all of his money.
No.
But if I were to give them even 7 million, it'd be a start.
Yeah.
They'd love that.
Well, it wouldn't be all of his money. It's just for this year.
No. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean,
Oh,
I'm
8
sure
million's fine then.
Yeah.
That'll house some people, I'm sure.
Well, ask him for $8 million. You can barter.
I've got like a Just Giving account, so your listeners could like give me like £1 or something.
Oh, so you can knock it. I'm going to give. I'll
Yeah.
bump it up.
That's another
Tim.
40.
Will you?
Yeah, I will bump it up.
Oh, bump it up.
Well, let's, how do we do that?
Are you going to bump it up, Frank? Make the pledge.
I might bump it up in a 39th kind
Gareth,
of a way.
you're going to bump it up?
Well, do you want people to?
I want you to
donate
bump it up, mate.
Shelter?
Bump it up!
Stop avoiding the question.
Okay.
Are you going to bump it up?
I think I get money from Shelter. I think they contribute.
Gareth, stop being so tight. I'll make sure
If
he does.
only
Tim.
now I'd got Bob Dylan's Shelter from the Storm. This would be the most carefully.
my favourite.
Can I just say, by the way, but before we say a fond farewell to Tim Key, that the people who have thought, well, I'd like to hear that album,
Oh, yeah.
which I will repeat the title again, is called Tim Key, I can't remember it, Tim Key,
With a string quartet on a boat, is it? That was what happened.
yeah,
Yeah.
Tim Key with a string quartet on a boat.
Yeah.
You don't have to have vinyl, because I listen to it on iTunes, so it's downloadable, isn't it?
Yeah, that spoils the romance of it.
Well, it does, but it might get you,
But maybe people will listen.
yeah, but I
swings and
mean,
roundabouts, isn't it?
yeah, exactly. I agree with that.
But can I say where you can get the album?
Yeah.
You can get it from a website called theinvisibledot.com. They're the guys that is their initiative to make this thing.
And can I say, if people have only got enough money to either buy the album or give money to Shelter, which would you rather they did?
No brainer, isn't it? Go for the art.
Yeah, exactly.
Always go for the art.
In a
They'll
way-
work out. They'll stay dry.
In a way, that's helping people who are nearly homeless as well.
Yeah, exactly.
I imagine the homeless.
It's quite a wide album. I mean, they can.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
so
can
the
definitely
homeless
you
board.
can, you can cower underneath it.
Yeah, I imagine the homeless become waterproof after a while.
Frank! Oh my
Surely
God.
they start off waterproof. They're like us.
Yeah,
They are water, but homeless
Why do
people
they
don't
need
absorb
shelter?
water.
do they not?
No. By the way, on that website, you can also book tickets for the tour.
Well, that's
Just as a
perfect.
point of
the
interest.
tour starts in February.
Tour starts in February.
Anything
Again,
else you want to plug, Tim?
Yeah, justgiving.com
but again,
/TimKey25.
just to sum up,
Bump it up.
tour tickets versus shelter contribution.
Well, for that, I would say, let's solve the
there's
homeless problem, because the tour doesn't start till February. Solve the homeless problem by about January, and then get out there, get on the road.
What's
Big
it? We're
talk.
sorted. Okay, well, look, Tim, it's lovely to see you as always.
lovely to see
I
you.
think you're coming to dinner at my house. At
Am
some
I?
point. Did you know that?
No,
Well, maybe you're just being invited.
do I?
You don't have to
I'll
come.
sort of be the judge of that, won't I?
Yeah, well, no, it's a sort of a rag
Oh, I
week prank.
Also, I think we're playing Crazy Golf on Tuesday.
Oh God, it's going to be a bit tight, but I'll be there if I can.
We are.
Okay. That's how people should do their socialising. Just, make up the thing and then impose it on the other person. Tim, it's lovely to see you.
Lovely to see you too.
This is Frank Skinner on
Absolute Radio.
Me and Emily had another date. We didn't
yeah.
just go and see Stephen Sondheim.
Why are you
We've
always
been
out
all
going
over
out
each other.
places?
Well, don't live in
At
Bournemouth.
home watching the phone. Feel very alone.
You're home watching the fire, did you say?
Watching the phone.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Just, yeah,
How
it's just on
retro.
fire. You
How
were very
retro of
passively
you.
just watching it drop. Yeah, we went to see. Some of you will recall that we had a band on a while. When I say a band on, I don't mean as in gay a band on.
Yeah.
I mean, we had. By the way, Ben Jones is on next, and there's something on the screen in the studio which looks like someone sneezed on it, and I don't want him to think that it was
Oh,
me.
it wasn't Lucio, was it?
It might have been Lucio. It
Oh,
looks,
God.
but I wouldn't. I didn't want to clean it off because it looks like you'd have to use the antiseptic rinse after. So I just don't want Ben to say it was me. I'm thinking it might. It has a ghost that fosters ectoplasmic element to it. Nevertheless, we went to see Midnight Beast.
The Midnight Beast, TMB.
Yeah, and it was a very. We were. I would say the oldest person there.
Yeah, don't say we were.
Yeah, I don't.
God.
I meant we in combination with the oldest person.
And should say, I went with my celebrity friend Jonathan Ross.
You did, and he's not young.
Well, how dare you?
And he's got the long hair now and the little
Yeah.
pointy beard. Look very Guy Fawkes.
I like it.
I was going to see if I could get some money for him outside, get him to sit in a pushchair. Well, he wouldn't go for it. But it was great, actually.
It was good, wasn't it?
But everyone, and the nice thing about this, everyone was shorter than us because there's a lot of girls, like 14.
And I had my stacked wedges on.
Yeah.
Oh, when I met someone, didn't I? I met a man on the way in.
Well, it was a rom-com moment.
It was a real rom-com moment. Because I parked my car, Gareth, and this man said, and he's very good looking, all blonde and quite handsome, how I like him. And I said, he said, oh, can you park here? And I went, oh, I don't know. And he said, I said, oh, I'm going to the academy. He said, so am I. And I said, I'm going to see the Midnight Beast. And he said, so am I. And then he said, where is it? I said, I don't know, I haven't got my glasses on. He went, neither have I. Oh my God, it was so rom-com. I thought we've got so much in common. It's meant to be.
So Emily came and said, I've just met this guy, it's very rom-com. And then this man came over who looked like... Now, for those of you who aren't football fans, he looked like Robbie Savage.
Yeah, that really put me off him when Frank said that.
Now, Robbie Savage is a sort of... he's a good pundit and a good player. He's a bit violent.
He was good looking. Frank, you're just being too critical.
I don't mind someone looking like Robbie Savage accidentally, but this is a bloke who you could see and thought, with a bit of effort, I could look like Robbie Savage. I don't want someone who takes it on.
Well, that put me off him.
But it was we bopped, considering we were not really there. I think most people thought I probably had a child in the band, and that's why I was there. But we did that. I did that
yeah.
quite a lot.
Me and Jonathan, some serious moves were going on there.
Well, I don't know that they were exactly serious, but it was. I found. I tell you what, I found that the aircon in there at the back of the Islington Academy was so fierce that I was fearing I might pick up a bit of a stiff neck.
Oh, God.
Which you don't want to be worrying about that at a youth-based gig.
No.
But it was it not fierce?
It was quite
My hair
ferocious.
was, I mean...
I was distracted by Robbie Savage.
Well, he looked like he's off a Bee Gees album sleeve when the aircon kicked in. But it was splendid.
Did you get his number?
That's
You're
none of your
meet up? Are you
business.
going to meet up?
I'd put her off him.
Oh.
You don't know how it ended up. You don't know if I ended up getting a note on my car
No,
windscreen.
I know that.
Yeah, a ticket.
Bottom line is that you seek my approval. Do you
Oh,
not?
do I?
I think so, of men. I think we all do with our friends. We like our friends to like our partners, don't we?
I've said nothing.
Do we? So did he leave a note on your windscreen?
I'm not saying anything.
Okay. Well, I've left a note on Ben Jones's windscreen. Well, I haven't, but there is one. Next week, our guest is Chris Addison, number 40 in the top 40 comedy earners. You can listen to Not the Weekend podcast. Download that on Wednesday. That's completely different stuff from this show. As I've said, Ben Jones is next, and he can do his own wiping. And it's been lovely. Thank you for some great texts this week. Congratulations to you all. And I'm off to get 3 matching knapsacks and some vacuum attachments. I better sort out that costume as well while I'm at it. Good day to you.
You're listening to Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio. Working towards a mintier world with Treebor Soft Mints.